Hello and welcome to Broadbrand, the Big Money's regular look at how new media is influencing Madison Avenue. Names like fashion trends often don't age well. Think of names like Bertha, or Mildred, or Arthur. When their parents signed the birth certificates, their fates were sealed. Such is the problem with RadioShack. The word radio just sounds so antiquated, and that it's a Radio Shack doesn't help. You may as well be walking into an old folks' home. Video killed the Radio Shack long ago. But Radio Shack still has a business to run, so the company has decided to change its name. Sort of. Radio Shack wants you to channel the Fonz and start calling it The Shack. Unrelated, we assume, to the immensely popular Christian novel of the same name. In a different era, Radio Shack could have made this announcement by rolling out a commercial, hyping the latest sale, and then waiting for customers to come in and buy their latest 20-pound cell phone.
Hello?
But we no longer live in a mono-media world, and so The Shack took its rebranding to the net.
What's this, Carpaccio?
There we go.
This August, it staged a bizarre press event in New York and San Francisco, erecting two giant laptop sets that were linked to one another by video. It then hosted a 72-hour event with all sorts of random guests, concerts, and contests.
It's getting weird over here.
To top it off, they put the whole thing online. Or at least, they tried to put it online. When I tuned into the event, the audio feeds were all out of whack.
May not be up and working for you right now, but it's a free...
The hosts in San Francisco and New York were talking over one another, and half the time the audio dropped out altogether. If you're relaunching yourself as a cutting-edge tech company, you might want to make sure your cutting-edge tech is operational.
Just take your clothes off, walk up to people and demand money. Is that what happens
when you're naked?
And even when the feeds were working, the offerings were odd at best. There were transcontinental shout-outs.
Oh, by the way, Mackenzie, I love you.
Wow.
I'm done.
He said Mackenzie. Who's Mackenzie?
Girl I knew from school.
Oh, and do you think she's watching on www.radioshack.com/The Shack right now?
Probably not, but...
What?
And amazing but disturbing dance contests. The best segment was a beatbox battle between San Francisco and New York, but I'm not really sure what that has to do with electronics. Twitter, of course, made a cameo appearance.
Twitter that, my friend!
But because somebody already owned the Twitter username The Shack, the company had to go with the far less powerful _Shack for its new microblog. It mustered only a few hundred followers, and now that the event's over, it lacks purpose. As inauspicious as The Shack's debut was, it gets even less impressive. Radio Shack isn't actually changing its name. It's just trying to get people to start calling it The Shack. A print and TV campaign is to come, but what for? Radio Shack has hedged its bets, splitting its identity in two, and not choosing either. What's worse, neither is especially impressive, or especially modern. Sometimes kids with unfortunate names can never escape their destinies. After all, we can't all be Arthur Fonzarelli. For the Big Money, I'm Chadwick Matlin.